This is COVID status report number 25, Diabolical Duo, posted September 15th, 2020. I know I said I was only going to do a report once a month, and it's only been 2 weeks, but some important things have happened, and I just did not want to wait 2 more weeks. It's too critical, and the path we're on is total disaster. And so it's important to briefly talk about this. And next, in the next 2 weeks, we'll revisit this. Before I go into anything, let me hold up this book. It's a New York Times bestseller from 2012, written well before the term of the current person holding the office of president. The book is named Assholes, a Theory, by Professor Aaron James. And again, it's a New York Times bestseller. And it is, he's a professor at University of California at Irvine. And it is a very good academic treatment of assholes. And it gives you a glimpse. Of course, we all think we know assholes, but it's this really defines it much better. But assume you're at a party, having a great time, and it's a party that doesn't have any assholes. You run out of beer, so you go around to people, hey, let me collect some money. I'll run out and get some beer and keep the party going. And everybody chips in, go out, get some beer, run low again, same thing. And someone else volunteers to go out and get beer. That's what happens when you don't have an asshole in the crowd. But then an asshole arrives. And all of a sudden, the asshole, the next time the beer gets low, that, I'm not going to donate. You other losers and suckers, you can donate. I'm not going to. And then others go, well, if he's not going to, then I don't know what I will. And the party ends. And that's what assholes do. And another premise of assholes, another characteristic, is that it just does not take very many. A very tiny fraction of the populace that are assholes ruin it for a lot of us. And we're seeing that big time right now. So let's get to bloatus, perhaps one of the biggest. And the reason I mentioned this book, again, Assholes, a Theory, is because written in 2012, when you're looking for a shining example of an asshole, this person has stood out for many decades. We've known the assholeness of this person. So, bloatus, biggest liar of the U.S. I drew this cartoon, as you can see, back in 2016. 1700s, here's a familiar, possibly, sorry for the poor artwork, possibly familiar looking figure, George Washington, chopping down a cherry tree, no one's around. I cannot tell a lie. I cut down the cherry tree, but there were no witnesses. 2000, perhaps that hair will look familiar and people all around watching. I cannot tell a lie. I didn't cut down the cherry tree. And I can tell you who did. Remind you of someone? Diabolical duo, also known as dump and dents. We thought that stupidity and incompetence were the reasons why we're doing so much worse than everyone else in the world. Now, from Bob Woodward's revelations in his book, Rage, we know it's evil. We know that there truly was an understanding. It was early on. It was at a time when action could have been taken, and we could be 1/10 to 1/20th of the infections and fatalities that we're at now. It's the biggest preventable disaster in U.S. history, and there are people responsible. Moving beyond 7 million infections and 200,000 fatalities, as bad and as big of a disaster as this is, We are just at the beginning of the pandemic, and that's why this is so important to understand now. 2 out of 3 people will become infected. 200 million of us will become infected in the US. Don't hang your hat on a vaccine. This is what we're facing without competence and without proper leadership. And what that means is 1 out of 50 people you know will die. Right now, it's 1 out of 1,000. So you're unlikely to know someone who has died. But it is quite possible. Where is it going to go? Well, 6 million of us are going to die because of the incompetence, because of the evil nature of the people in leadership positions. This simulation, for those of you who have been following it, here I am in the middle of nowhere, central Illinois. What the hell am I, a retired professor, doing such an accurate prediction? I have not touched the simulation since the end of June when I started it. I've simply added new data, and you can see the circle data is following my path very, very well. If we had competent leadership, you could see that in September, I would expect that there might be a further drop. The reason we didn't follow the lower path, again, was incompetence, because Blotus encouraged his incompetent minions in southern states to reopen early. And we had an impact of a summer surge due to outdoor temperatures that could have been managed, again, if we had competent leadership. So here I am in the middle of nowhere, being able to accurately predict where we're going. And unfortunately, the temperature effect I'm showing for this less than desirable path we've been on, it ain't going to happen, again, because of incompetent leadership that's causing reopening of schools in a very incompetent and irresponsible manner. So I expect in September, and follow this report at the beginning of October when I report on September figures, that I am, it's looking like it's going to go up. And so we're going to hit 200 million infections, folks, unless we do something to change. CDC, NIH, FDA, Department of Justice, where the hell are you? Who are you representing? What the hell is going on? If you don't represent us, get out, walk out. You're not doing us any good. We can handle this on our own. We know how to isolate. We know how to protect ourselves, and let the incompetence infect each other. True patriots are not suckers. They're not losers. If that doesn't tell you the evil that's occupying this high office, I don't know what else will. I drew this cartoon almost 4 years ago. What used to be the grand old party, the party of Lincoln, a brilliant person, the most moral person I could think of among our presidents. And where have we gone today? Shame on you. The gas oil pollution party, as we here in Illinois and across the entire US see the results of dumping basically a pound of trash in our air for every mile that's driven in a oil-powered car. Shame on you. We're not losers. We're not suckers. We believe in this country. Let's hope we can save our country.